Dear students, in the last class, we have seen the types of the semiconductors and the concept of mobility and conductivity. In this class, we are going to discuss the complete concept of Hall effect, which is used to determine whether the semiconductor is p-type or n-type. And along with this, we are also going to calculate the concentration of the carriers, conductivity of the semiconductor bar, and as well as the mobility of the carriers. So now let me explain very clearly what is Hall effect here. So let us take a semiconductor bar in which the current I is flowing in positive x direction and it is placed in the transverse magnetic field B bar and which is in z direction. Then the electric field will be produced in negative y direction like this. That means whenever the current is in the positive x direction and the magnetic field is in positive z direction, there is an inducement of electric field from phase 1 to phase 2. That means in the negative y direction. This phenomenon is called as Hall effect. And at that time, whenever the semiconductor bar is placed in the transverse magnetic field, then the Hall voltage will be produced between the phase 1 and 2. So this can be taken as a VH. VH means Hall voltage. This is the voltage that is existing between the two phases. This is called Hall voltage. Now, depends upon the polarity of the Hall voltage, we are going to see whether the given semiconductor is p-type or n-type. So, first of all, what do you mean by the transverse magnetic field? That means the current is in this direction and magnetic field is in the direction of your z direction like this, and this is in x direction like this. This plane is nothing but a perpendicular plane, and always there will be an inducement of electric field perpendicular to both B as well as I. That means this is the plane. So if you are taking the direction of your electric field, it is perpendicular to the plane contained by this current as well as magnetic flux density. So here the electric force will be induced in the direction of negative y direction, and because of the inducement of this electric field, electric voltage is potential is, because of this electric potential is actually induced here. That voltage is nothing but a Hall voltage. So depending upon the polarity of the Hall voltage, we are going to say whether the given material is p-type or n-type. Now see, whenever the electric force is actually exerting in this direction, the carriers inside the semiconductors will be pushed to the surface too. Suppose for example, if the semiconductor bar is n-type, then the carriers will be electrons like this. All these electrons will be pushed to the surface too like this, because the force is exerting in the negative y direction like this. So as it is exerting in the negative y direction, there is an accumulation of the electrons here. That means the surface 2 is negatively charged compared to your surface 1. That means VH is positive because surface 1 is positive with respect to surface 2. So that's why VH is positive. So if VH is positive, then definitely I can say the semiconductor bar is n-type semiconductor, because the carriers are electrons, they are pushed to the surface too like this. So if VH is positive, it is n-type semiconductor. N-type semiconductor. Exactly. Suppose if the semiconductor bar is p-type, then the holes will be pushed towards the surface 2. That means surface 2 will be positive compared to the 1, then VH is negative. So that's why if VH is negative, then I can say the type of the semiconductor is nothing but p-type. That means, friends, understand very clearly, just by seeing the sign of this Hall voltage, I am saying whether the given semiconductor bar is p-type or n-type. So that is the main purpose of knowing this Hall voltage. So Hall effect is telling very clearly, the statement is very clear. whenever the semiconductor is placed in the transverse magnetic field, there is an inducement of electric field in the negative y direction. Because of this electric force, the carriers always will be pushed to the surface 2. If the surface 2 is having a negative charge, then the Hall voltage is positive, then it is nothing but an n-type. If the Hall voltage is negative, then it is a p-type semiconductor bar. So this is the way of knowing whether the semiconductor is of p-type or n-type, because you know very well. This is nothing but the B bar. Transverse magnetic field means already you know. Transverse means magnetic field and the current are at an angle of 90 degrees. The electric force will be perpendicular to the plane contained by this B bar as well as I like this. So this is nothing but the Hall effect. Now let me say the mathematical analysis of this Hall effect and how to just calculate the conductivity and the concentration and the mobility also. So listen very clearly. Whenever the semiconductor bar is under the equilibrium state, then I can say the electric force must be equal to magnetic force, because you know from your fundamentals, if you are taking a conductor like this, if the current is flowing through this conductor I, current always flows from higher potential to lower potential, means electric field. Then when the current is flowing through this conductor, then you are going to have your magnetic lines around it. Whenever the current is flowing through this, the magnetic field lines will be around this conductor like this. And here there are two types of forces simultaneously existing. That is nothing but electric force as well as magnetic force. So here also in the semiconductor, under equilibrium state, the electric force must be equal to the magnetic force. What is the electric force? From your fundamentals you can say, electric field intensity is defined as force experienced by a unit test charge. This is the fundamental. That means E bar is equal to F by Q. This F is nothing but electrical force Fe. Then I can say electrical force is equal to E into Q. This is the first equation you have to remember. Exactly. Coming to this magnetic forces, magnetic force definition itself is telling Fm is equal to Q into V cross B. V cross B. You see here, V cross B. V is in this direction because the current carriers are in this direction. Current flow is in this direction. That means V is in this direction. And B bar is at an angle of 90 degrees to this. So current is in this direction and B bar is in this direction. This plane is containing I as well as B. Then the force will be at an angle of 90 degrees like this. That means very simple. The magnetic force is nothing but a force which is acting at an angle of 90 degrees to the plane contained by the velocity and magnetic flux density. It is a fundamental. Wherever you are having a cross product, the result is always at an angle of 90 degrees. You see, what do you mean by cross product? So I would like to recall the fundamentals. A cross B is equal to, you know this, A bar into B bar into sine theta, and this is nothing but N bar. What is this N bar? N bar is a vector which is at an angle of 90 degrees to the plane contained by these two vectors like this. Very simple. See, let us take this fan. And fan is actually, what do you mean by crossing? Crossing means moving around a point. Moving around a point. It is nothing but in your EMF, it can be called as a curling. Moving around a point. In my EMF lectures, you can see that also concept. So here if you take this, A cross B, B cross C, C cross A. Crossing means moving around a point if you take this fan. Whenever the fan is moving like this, the result is at an angle of 90 degrees. That is the reason always I am choosing a place under the fan. The result is maximum. Exactly in the cross product here, if you are taking the magnetic force, the result is always at an angle of 90 degrees here. Q into V cross B. So the result will be in the negative Y direction like this. So this is called magnetic force and this is called as electric force. So whenever the semiconductor bar is under equilibrium state, then definitely I can say both forces are equal. So I can write here under equilibrium state, I can say both forces are equal. Electric force must be equal to magnetic force. What is electric force here from this expression? EQ. EQ is equal to, I can say, what is Fm here? Q into V cross B. Q into V cross B. This is. So I can say Q and Q will be cancelled. Then I can say that E is equal to V cross B. V cross B. Therefore, electric field intensity is equal to V cross B. V cross B means you can say E bar is equal to V into B into sine 90, because the angle between this velocity of the particles and the magnetic flux density is 90, sine 90 is 1. Therefore, E bar is equal to V into B. What is V bar here? What is E bar here? E bar means electric field intensity. So, if you see this figure, electric field intensity is nothing but E bar is equal to voltage divided by distance. Semiconductor bar here. Its width is W. The distance between the faces is nothing but the D. It is like this. It is the first phase and it is the second phase. The distance between this one is nothing but D and the width is nothing but W here. So that's why what is electric field intensity? Volt per meter means V by D. So what is this V? Hall voltage, VH by D. So from this I can write down VH is equal to E bar into D. So then I can say that this is equal to E bar means VH by D. VH by D is equal to VB. Right. So I can say that VH Hall voltage is equal to, you can say that V into B into D. This is V into B into D. So what is V here? The velocity of the particles. You know very well, your current density J is equal to rho V. This is the fundamental. Where J is the current density, rho is nothing but the charge density. So in the place of V, I can write down, you can say J by rho. J by rho. Just substitute here. Therefore, VH is equal to B J D by rho. This is nothing but the Hall voltage. So Hall voltage is a parameter which is going to be measured with a meter. Therefore, VH is equal to BJD by rho. What is this J? Current density. Therefore, I can write down J is equal to current by area, I by A. That means I by, what is the area of the sample? W into D. Because width is W, height is D, I by WD. Therefore, what is VH finally? VH is equal to BJD by rho, then B. And what about J? J is nothing but I by WD. I by WD into rho D. And you can say rho is actually there. And here D and D will be cancelled here. Therefore, Hall voltage is equal to BI by rho W. Rho W. Now, observe this equation very closely. Then you can understand what exactly this equation is telling. So, Hall voltage is equal to BI by rho W. Remember friends, Hall voltage is a measurable parameter. You can measure with a meter. B means magnetic flux density. You know the value of the B bar because you are giving this. And you are making the current to flow I. It is a known parameter to you. And whereas W, it is nothing but the width of this semiconductor bar. Out of all these things, the unknown parameter is nothing but the rho. Now write down about the expression for the rho. Rho is equal to, I can say that rho is equal to BI by VH into W. This is nothing but the charge density. In this way, we are going to calculate the charge density parameter rho here. So once rho is known to you, then I can define the most important parameter here. That is nothing but the Hall coefficient. Because Hall coefficient RH is fundamentally defined as it is the reciprocal of resistivity. RH is equal to 1 by rho. Therefore, RH is equal to reciprocal of this means reversal of this. That means VH into W divided by B into I. This is called Hall coefficient. Hall coefficient. So, very simple friends, we have just started from the equilibrium state where the two forces are equal, just you are substituting small parameters here, finally you are calculating the Hall coefficient RH is equal to VH into W by B into I. Okay. Now, let me continue the same story for calculating the conductivity as well as the mobility also. Okay. From the conductivity equation, sigma is equal to NQ mu. This is the known equation for everybody. What is this NQ? NQ means charge density rho. That means sigma is equal to rho into mu. Therefore, how to find out the mu? Mu is equal to sigma 1 by rho into sigma. So, what is this 1 by rho? 1 by rho, just now I told you, it is nothing but RH, Hall coefficient into sigma. Therefore, I can calculate the mobility of the carriers mu is equal to sigma into RH. This is the way of calculating the mobility of the carriers. Mobility of the carriers. So, from this expression, you are going to calculate the conductivity also. So, I already told you in the beginning itself, all of it is meant for knowing the concentration of the carriers, and it is also used to determine whether the given semiconductor bar is p-type or n-type, and you are going to calculate the conductivity as well as the mobility of the carriers also. So, now let me say the most important aspect of this Hall effect, that is nothing but the applications of your Hall effect. So, what are the applications? Applications means very simple. If you see this experimental setup, what is your measurable parameter here? VH. VH is the measurable parameter. From this VH, happily, you can find out the applications of the Hall effect also. So, what is VH here? You know that VH is equal to BI by rho into W. This is nothing but the expression what we got here. So, now I am writing the applications of this. What are the applications of your Hall effect? So, coming to these applications, please observe this equation. Hall voltage is directly proportional to the magnetic flux density, that means B bar. It is also directly proportional to the current flowing through this. So, let us take the first proportionality here. The very first one is, I can say that Hall voltage is directly proportional to the magnetic flux density. That means, if you are increasing the magnetic flux density, the Hall voltage also increases. They are proportional to each other. That means, if you take the magnetic field, it is invisible to you. And if you want to just calculate this magnetic field, then happily you can measure the Hall voltage because they are proportional. And always let us have a scale like this. For this much of field, this much of Hall voltage. And if the magnetic flux density increases, Hall voltage also increases. So, depends upon the magnitude of the Hall voltage, I can estimate the magnetic field. That's why this concept Hall effect can be utilized in magnetic field meter. That means, in order to determine the strength of the magnetic field, I can utilize the concept of your Hall effect. So, that's why VH is proportional to B will be used in magnetic field meter. Magnetic field meters. If you are taking the meters, magnetic field meters, then happily you can utilize the concept of your Hall effect. This is the first application I can say. Come on friends, what is the second application? If you are observing here, all voltage is also equal to, also proportional to the current also. Otherwise I can say the Hall voltage is also proportional to the product of these two parameters. One is nothing but the magnetic flux density and other one is the current. So, this is one signal and this is the one signal. If you want to produce the product of the two signals here, then Hall voltage is also measurable. So, Hall effect also can be utilized to get the multiplications of the two signals. That's why the second application I can say VH is directly proportional to B into I. B means magnetic field. I means the current flowing through this. This is one signal and this is another signal. If you want to have the multiplication of these two, then also you can utilize your Hall effect, and this concept will be used in Hall multipliers. Hall multiplier means whenever you are having the multiplications of the signals. And if you want to produce the multiplications of the two signals, then Hall effect can be utilized, and this Hall voltage gives you the answer. Very simple. If you see the experimental setup here, what we are doing here is simply you are putting your semiconductor bar in the transverse magnetic field, and electric field always will be produced in the negative y direction. This field is producing the magnetic force here, and because of the force the carriers are pushed to one side. Then as it is having two potential surfaces here, different potentials, you are going to have your Hall voltage here. Depends upon this Hall voltage, you are going to estimate your concentration of the carriers, conductivity and mobility of the carriers. Even you can utilize this Hall effect. That means the voltage that is produced in this one is Hall voltage, will give you the answer for applications also. So what are the applications finally? Your Hall effect can be utilized in magnetic field meters as well as in multipliers. Those multipliers are called as Hall multipliers. This way you have to understand the concept of Hall effect, which is the most important concept to understand the concentration, conductivity and mobility of the carriers. Okay, I hope you can understand this, right? Thank you.